Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin and the fact that the bull market support band is continuing to push higher. It's now at 13.7 for the 20-week SMA and around 14.5 for the 21-week EMA. So if you guys like the content, please subscribe down below, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So if you're new to the channel, we always want to keep an eye on the support band, the bull market support band. The reason we like to keep an eye on it, as we've showed, is it tends to be our support in the bull market. So even in a bull market, we know we have corrections, right? And, it's not like we just go up monotonically forever. And these corrections can range by a lot. I mean, sometimes they'll be 30% moves, sometimes they'll be 35 or 40% moves, sometimes 20% moves. So we know this is an important level, and we talked about this in preparation for a long time, right? We were talking about a lot over here, and we said if we fail to hold it, it's the bad news bears, and it was. Now we got to this point where we tested out a support, and we said sentiment can change on a dime if in fact we hold it as support, and it has. Now this week isn't all that special because the 20-week SMA is just at 13.7. We made a video on like Saturday or something saying that the 20-week should be around 13.7 and the 21-week EMA should be around 14.5. And you can see, according to this, the 20-week SMA is exactly 13.786, and then the 21-week EMA is 14.495. So this is more or less where our support would need to hold in the event of a correction to maintain the integrity of the bull market. And next week will probably be fairly impressive because it seems like the 20-week SMA will actually push past 14K. So in about 5 or 6 days, when we get the weekly close, depending on depending on what closing candle you use, I use UTC time, but depending on where you live, this coming weekend we'll see the 20-week SMA go to 14K. Okay, and I think this is going to be pretty substantial. And one of the reasons I think 14K is substantial is if you look at monthly candles, there's a lot of reasons, right? But if you first look at monthly candles, this was here is 14K. This was where we had our major candles top out at the end of the last bull market. We also had this candle top out here before creating one that just kind of rocketed past it. So this level, in my opinion, will be a very interesting level to watch because 14K has historically been a hard place for us to get past, except for wicks. The only difference is right now. Here we had a wick above 14K in December of 2017. In January of 2018, we had a wick above 14K. In this one, we had a wick to 14K, and this one we had a candle up to 14K. This is the first candle that we had that shot above it. So you can see we came back down around to around 17.6 on this wick, but we're still a far cry from 14K. And in fact, right now, the price of Bitcoin is 19,450. Okay, so we're not even close to this level. And we did a video where we looked at the general time frame for testing the bull market support. Because if you look at monthly candles, you can more or less see. Let me remove some of this stuff. So we're going to remove the drawings. But if you look at monthly candles, we tend to come back down to the support band within 2 or 3 months, right? I mean, there are months where we spend above it, but every 2 or 3 months, we tend to come back down to it. And so far, we're in month 2. So historically speaking, there's no obviously guarantee that we'll go back down to it this month. However, I would be shocked if we did not visit it in, say, January. And if we don't visit it in January and we get out into February, then I imagine we're going to be very overextended at that point. I mean, we already are to some degree, but we're just basing it on historical data. No need to get upset or anything about wanting the price to just continue to go up like this forever. We're just looking. I'm not sure why the chart keeps doing that. We're just simply looking at historical data and noting that historically speaking, the 20-week or the 20-week SMA or the 21-week EMA is tested every 2 or 3 months. And there's actually only been one time in history that I found as we showed in another video, where we had 3 candles fully above it, but the fourth one went down to it. So This month is December. We're still way up here. In January, if we do not test it, if we do not come back down and test it, then by February, historically speaking, we would have always come back down to test it in some manner, even if it was just a wick down. For the most part, the fourth month, we've never gone longer than 4 months without going back down to it. Now, this is important because, if you think about these moving averages that we want to obviously at all times keep an eye on, they are increasing rather quickly. The 20-week SMA is going up by about $400 a week. That'll start slowing down as it gets closer to these prices because we're not going back as far in time to where prices were much lower. So you can go back 20 weeks, and we're going to be replacing it with this candle now. But instead of, for a while it was increasing quite quickly because we were replacing it with these candles. I imagine that it will start slowing down. Maybe we'll see some $300 weeks where it only goes up by $300 or so. But regardless, it's currently at 13,784. There should be no problem in terms of us getting above 14K in about 5 days or so. So I imagine it'll get above 14K in 5 days, and that will be a pretty substantial level. Now, if we continue on at well above the 20-week moving average, and we go up by, let's say, $300 to $400 a week, and we do it for another 5 weeks, and let's be really liberal on it and say $400 a week for 5 weeks, that's another $2,000. So 5 weeks from now would put us in getting into the later part of January. So 5 weeks, the 20-week SMA will likely be closer to around 16K. So we're not saying that the price has to immediately dump to these levels, but it's just something to always know where it is in a bull market, because if you consider that we're in a bull market, which again there's no guarantee, but if you want to take the risk and assume that we are in a bull market, a multi-year bull market, we know last market cycle, the 20-week SMA or the 21-week EMA, this band was always where the dip stopped. Okay? And it was never a specific price point. If you get into the mentality of, well, I'm only going to buy Bitcoin if it goes down to this price, and let's say you did that here, and you said, I'm only going to buy Bitcoin when it goes back down to 1,000, and then it never did, right? It rallied up, and then the dip came, but the dip was higher than where you could have bought here. So the point is just recognizing that during a bull market, the 20-week SMA or the 21-week EMA tend to be the baseline of support. And so, the argument could be made that it's too early to say that we're in a bull market, but I mean, at this point, we've been in it, as I've showed before, we've been in it for about 231 days. And so I think you can say this is a bull market. Whether it's a multi-year bull market is still up for debate, of course, because if we come back down and test it again and then blast off again, I think that'll bring even more confidence to the market. But for now, there certainly is a lot of confidence in the market. Bitcoin's currently at 19.4. I just want people to keep an eye on where the 20-week is. Well, we should see it over 14K next week. It's currently at 13,784. The 21-week EMA is at 14,493. If we take a look at the daily candles, which I think we should briefly look at, one of the things we said is the idea that in order for Bitcoin to, say, enter a potential lower volatility time, we want to go above and below the 20-day, right? Above and below it. And we've seen that. We came below it here. We popped back above it. This does not necessarily mean we're going to break 20K tomorrow or anything, but what it could mean is that we are entering into just a phase of lower volatility for a while. And this would be good for the rest of the market, right? This would be good for the rest of the asset class if, in fact, that were to happen. So we're not necessarily saying that has to happen, of course, but if this were to happen, then we might see a lot of these other cryptocurrencies play catch-up, which we've talked about before, but we're just going to give an update here because we have, in fact, rallied past the 20-day. The 20-day right now is at 18,680. We came as low as 17.5 and as high as almost 19.6. Still business as usual, nothing too crazy here. This could just be Bitcoin volatility slowing down for a while, right? A major move over the last couple months, all the way down here, coming up, coming back down, and then starting to level off a bit. That's what I would like to see personally. I would like to see it level off for a little while, but again, I don't always get what I want. Now, just to do a quick update, we will also overlay the bars. I think some people do like that, so we'll take this bar and go all the way over here, and then we will simply overlay it to this move. Again, these are not tradable patterns, I don't think, but just kind of overlaying this major rally to the top. So we had a major rally to the top, back down to the 20-day, which is exactly, I mean, this is exactly what we had, right? This is exactly what we had. If you go back and look at 10K, we did the same thing. Let's draw the line at 10K. We came up to the top, back to the 20, back to the top, below the 20, back to the top, even a little bit higher than the top, and then we just kept on going, right? Above and below the 20-day MA. Pretty similar pattern so far, right? I mean, pretty similar. Up to the top, down to the 20. Up to the top, broke the 20, back up. And if we were to continue, right? If we were to continue, then we might even go above 20K if we repeat what happened at 10K. Or, you know, if we just go somewhat sideways in here for a while, that would also be repeating exactly what happened to 10K. And this is where altcoins really took off. So I'm not really sure why I keep saying that. But hopefully you guys enjoy the content. We're just doing a general update here. Nothing too crazy. Price of Bitcoin's at 19.3. Still pretty bullish. Still pretty far away from the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA. But don't lose sight of where those are, because I tend to like to know where they are in the case of a correction. I just know immediately, okay, well, that's where we want to hold as support. So if you guys like the content, remember to subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. Also check out the Telegram channel in the description below. And then we also do have the sale for the premium list still going on, so make sure you check that out. You'll get access to the weekly reports, the weekly videos, the Telegram alerts channel, the Telegram chat room, the risk dashboard. Well, we're going to start doing live streams for just the people on the premium list next year. We'll still have some public ones, but we will have some just for the premium list, so we can really dig into some of the stuff into the premium content. So check it out. It'll stay active for a little bit longer. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure you subscribe. Thanks for getting me to 70,000 subscribers. Let's go for 80,000. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.